let's talk at a macro level about the trend. And since we're talking about wearables, it's always better to ask, do you see this as the beginning of a fad that's going to churn itself out and then go into the real deal of wearable technology? Or where do you see, because you track these things?
Yes, it is not a beginning. It is already there. It is a continuation of trends and technologies and applications that have been there for many, many years. What's different this time around is that we have enabling technologies that enable not only wearables, but Internet of Things. And we see wearables as being kind of subsumed under the bigger category of Internet of Things. So we have processors that are more cost-effective and that are more powerful. We have sensor devices that are more cost-effective and that allow for applications to monitor and to measure physical life events around us. These sensors have now reached and these application processors have now reached a price point where it makes wearable devices appealing and where it opens up new market opportunities. So fundamentally, it's really not new. But now we have the technologies in place to roll it out in a cost-effective way.
Typically in these technologies, the first adopters are in the military and the army, and such things of that nature. But I think, like you said, because of the cost, we have overcome that, and now it's in the hands of the consumers. There are two big segments that people always talk about. One is the application of this towards the sports and fitness. The other is the health and life sciences. Mm-hmm. So we just wanted your opinion when you talk about, do you see applications of this because of the cost, or do you think because of the need that is out there, not just in the developed world, but the emerging world as well, in terms of health sciences?
Yes, so there is a need and there's a market opportunity, not only in military and not only in health sciences, but I see other markets following suit directly. Home automation, automotive markets. The markets that are susceptible and that are receptive of these kinds of devices and technologies will be the markets that, number one, have significant enough size, so the market TAM, the total addressable market opportunity, has to be sizable enough. But secondarily, the markets have to have still some inefficiencies in them that this technology now is being rolled out to iron out these inefficiencies. Because whenever there's an inefficient market situation, there's opportunity to extract value from these inefficiencies and make these markets more efficient and have a beneficiary or an ecosystem of beneficiaries that can make money of it. And the healthcare system is certainly sizable enough, and it is certainly, from a structure point of view, an attractive market. But there are other markets as well that are maybe not, that are similar in size, that have these inefficiencies that innovative companies will be able to monetize.
When you look at market, there are these startups who come with these innovative technologies, but there are also the bigger companies, the GEs and the Johnsons of the world. Mm-hmm. For production and distribution and market capture, they already have their space defined. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is a good time for startups in this space to be innovative and to be nimble, and then
absolutely
one after the other, so they can do these things?
The exciting thing about the IoT market and the wearables market is that it's characterized as what we call a maker's market. There are a lot of garage companies, or opportunities for garage-sized companies, to come up with the next greatest idea in wearables and be the next Apple or be the next HP that started in a garage. And the reason why this is such a great opportunity for makers is, number one, fundamental technologies, base technologies are available, right? So they don't have to reinvent the microprocessor. Intel and ARM already have the microprocessor for them, right? They don't have to reinvent a large part of the software stack that goes beyond the hardware layer. all they have to do is focus on their core competencies and their specific value add and differentiate there. And everything else below that, they can buy off the shelf. That's the one thing. The other thing is the availability of investments. Not only can wearables and IoT devices be designed and architected relatively cost efficiently, but there's also, from what we heard in the panel today, money available that will support early stage startups and that will fund their activities through productization. So I think this is, the market structure now is an ideal opportunity for the maker environment, for small garage type companies to proliferate.
When it comes to technology proliferation, it's not just about designing the wearable. It's, like you said, the technology overall, including big data, is also a big part of this. There was a question earlier about the answer to notifications of wearables.
It'll largely depend on whether there's one source or one infrastructure of notifications for all of these different heterogeneous types of inputs that come in. And we have yet to see, there were also discussions about interoperability among devices. If there is one vendor, if there is one website, if there's one ecosystem or asset out there, maybe it's Apple with HealthKit and HomeKit and what they're doing. Maybe it is Microsoft. They announced a health platform recently, right? If there's a way to unify, whether by legislative means or by just market forces, to unify the platforms that the user has access to, then a unified notification system, a single source of notifications will proliferate. If you get notifications from Facebook, from Google, from Apple, from Microsoft, from Intel, from everybody else in the world, that'll lead to a heterogeneous notification base that the user will very quickly lose interest in. So there will be a multitude, there will not be a single device that will proliferate. I wouldn't even characterize it as a language. I would characterize notification as any sort of stimuli that could be issued. It could be in language format. It could be in natural language format. It could be an auditive, a beep or something like that. It could be a visual stimulus. It could be a tactile stimulus. Right now I'm thinking there will be multiple devices, device classes, device platforms that will proliferate, and each platform will come up with their own notification system or with their own way to stimulate the user and attract attention. In the car, for instance, I'm getting a new Tesla and it's going to notify me that I'm changing lanes. It's going to notify me that I am over the speed limit. I never speed, by the way, but that's a whole other story. But it's going to find different ways, different technologies, and different sensory stimuli to let me know that I'm doing something wrong.
Thank you.
In watch-type devices, I have a Motorola 360. I'm going to get the LG G Watch. It is not the single device category, it is not the single wearable that I would like to see proliferate. What I would like to see proliferate is the interoperability of multiple device platforms, wearable platforms, IoT platforms, home computing platforms, that will create a hopefully seamless user experience for me. So I'm not looking at the single device class.
So no,